So, first,
I didn't see it.
we have a test for the lumbricals. What do the lumbricals do?
The MP joint.
Okay, they do help with that a little bit, right?
The P,
But
and
we get the
extension.
pad and dab. Yes. Okay, so MTP flexion with PIP and DIP extension. So essentially, this is my lumbricals working of my hand. It makes an L for lumbrical. It's upside down, but if we were to go like that, it's an L.
Still no.
Still no.
That looks like a J now.
There you go.
It's got to be backwards. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. Okay.
How does that work with the foot?
Funky socks. I like
So how does it work with the socks? It means that here's our MP joint, right?
What?
She's got to go into, see there's her MP joint. She's got to go into flexion there, but then extension there. So it looks essentially, so you try and extend your toes.
Is that even possible? Wait, what?
Not the
That's so
easiest
gross.
motion. Again, this is a prime example of the intrinsic muscles and how they differ from our hands to our feet.
It's proprioception. People just haven't developed the.
Well, she has this crazy. I mean, you can see the ballet point.
Think-
Oh,
th-
But
oh.
she
had
does
it.
this with her toes.
There it is. That's probably as good as we're gonna get.
That's better than mine.
Charlie, work me.
Yeah. Okay. It's not a motion that a lot of people number one do or like. Okay. Who really needs to go into this motion with their toes? Like who?
Depends on what you're doing.
Yes, it does depend on what you're doing. But what normal person that doesn't have any issues or some sort of disability needs to perform this motion?
Actually, it's a great way to grip the ground.
It is. It is.
That's how you get hammer toe.
Okay. But that
Just saying.
is it really that you yourself are performing, or is it that you're digging into the ground because your DIP or excuse me your PIP is flexed as you dig into it?
Oh,
Oh, he's gonna get hammer toe.
No
And so
pressure
it's- Anyway, always fun with Jake around. So with this, we want to resist that motion, right? So we're going to try and resist her PIP and DIP extension, which is non-existent. Wow. It's true. Really, look at it.
Wait.
Wow. At least it's non-existent while we try and have her flex her MTP joint. You're
So
still
meaning
trying to-
that's not existent? Like
well,
what
that
do
is existent, but
Hello.
that's just straight extension of all
I'm
joints,
so
right?
puzzled. Okay.
Versus, I'm going to put her now into the motion of the lumbricals, which flexed the MPs and extended the PIP and DIP. Okay, and then I'm going to apply resistance. And technically, my resistance needs to come from two different places. With my fingers on top, I need to push down because she's resisting trying to go into extension, but then with my thumbs, I need to resist the motion at the MTP joint. So I'm trying to push her up, right? This is what it looks like. Failed attempt, always by the patient, unless they're awesome and use it all the time. Okay? Here we go. That's it. What just happened to her IP joints? They flexed
Don't
and
do
they
anything.
blew out.
Blew out, hit her in the eye.
Yeah. So it's a tough motion and all that other fun stuff. The biggest thing is that you're getting that MTP flexion that you're resisting for this, because combination of the MTP and PIP DIP extension, it's almost non-existent on most people. Okay, so as long as when you do the test and when you're coming to do pass-offs with us, or if you're in the practical and you happen to get this, this is what we want to see. You come like this, push their feet or their toes down into extension, and then have them hold that position. Don't let me move you. And I'm pushing primarily at that MTP joint, or just distal to the MTP joint, because automatically, unless it's impossible to get. Okay, versus with the hand where we actually are able to do that. Stop it. Okay. Then we can do flexion of all joints. Okay, flexion of all joints. And with the lumbricals, my thumbs, if you noticed, for those of you who can see, my thumbs are on her the pad of her foot, so the ball of her foot essentially, because her MTP joint is right here, right? There it is. So I want to be just distal to that. So I'm applying pressure on the pad of her foot. Now if I want to get all of the motions, MTP and all the IP, I can come in here like this, and I'm going to put my thumbs in her little foot crack,
Shower.
toe crack,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it,
Wash
okay?
my toe cracks.
And then I'm just going to say, curl your toes around my thumbs. Okay? And then I'm applying as much pressure as I can to try and straighten them out. The flexors are strong muscles. Those toe flexors are strong. Let go!
That's what I was doing. I was telling her, I'm like,
Hey! Greg's no longer my friend. I'm kidding. He totally is. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, that's for all of them. The only one that you typically isolate by itself is the great toe. And there you got your thumb on top for flexion. You got your thumb on top of the MTP joint. My finger is going to be just distal to that. Go ahead and push down. Nope. Oh, curl. Flex your toes. And I'm going to pull up at that joint, which is getting my brevis, right? And if I want to get the longest, I come out here farther. I got my thumb now on top of the IP joint. My finger is resisting at the very tip of the toe, and I'm going to try and extend her, which okay, but not quite as weak as the extensors. Bring it back. I hate to say it, but bring it back. With extension, we can again isolate just the big toe, but now instead of having my thumb on top of the joint, I have my finger on the bottom of the joint, and then my thumb is at the distal end. Go ahead and extend, and then I'm trying to pull her down. Okay, thumb wrestle. Gross. It was one of those things where it wasn't gross until I said it, and I realized what I was doing, and it was just gross. And then I can go at the end and get this guy. Go ahead and resist me. Yeah, that's right.
That's not fair.
In the book, it talks about going through each individual one, but go ahead and extend all your toes. Check this out. Nothing. It's just like a floppy little fish.
Is that why you can like do this?
Yeah, so it's similar to that, right? So the way we do it for the rest of the toes is similar to the lumbrical. She's going to go into extension, and then I'm just going to take my fingers and push her down. So resist
my
me.
bad, sorry.
And again, pretty darn weak. But it's not necessarily a hugely functional movement. So, okay. So,
I skipped toe life.
that's lab technically. But hurry and practice
Oh my goodness.
with flexion and extension of the toes.